Welcome to Tech and More. In this video, we are going to go ahead and talk about the strategy that you require to get into big product based organizations like FAANG or other big scale startups without an IIT or an NIT degree. Right now, a lot of people have this question, and yes, you know what is to be learned technically, and all that is there. But what I feel is that the proper strategy to go ahead and implement that thing and to achieve your goal is lacking somewhere on YouTube or on internet in general. So I try to curate a video that will help us to figure out the strategy on how to go ahead and achieve that what we require. So let's start now. If you aspire to get into the big product based organizations like FANG, but you do not know how, and when I say how, I do not mean the technical aspects, that is something that most of the people know. But when I say how, I mean what is the strategy to do that. So this video will help you to build that strategy. Again, this is not a technical sort of a video, because of course in 7 to 8 minutes no video can cover the technical aspects, but this is more of a strategy or more of a path that can help you to go ahead and achieve your goal. So first of all, the most important thing here to know is that you do not aim for all at once. Do not think that you're fresh out of college and I'll straight away go ahead and get a job with a big organization, a FANG organization, and it'll happen very easily. No, it will not. You have to be realistic, because people from premium colleges always get a priority, but that does not mean that you will not get a good opportunity or a good offer if you are from a tier 2 or tier 3 college, right? But we have to choose a step by step path, and what that step by step path is, let's see that. Number one, begin with a small scale startup. This means that if you are planning to go ahead and work for a big scale startup in the future, first of all, start your career out of college with a small scale startup. Work as hard as you can for an year wearing multiple hats, right? So for example, I'll correlate with an example. So if you are a web developer and you're fresh out of college and you want to work for a big organization, I think the better way is to start with a small scale startup that specializes in building websites and full stack websites, and likewise spend an year there, learn as much as you can, wear different hats, and then you go ahead and aim for another big organization, right? And now, when you are working in that particular organization for 1 year, you need to learn a couple of things simultaneously, that is side by side. So what are these things? Let's see. Number one is you have to hold on to one of the oops language, which is very obvious, because if you are going for, let's suppose, a full stack web development, then you need to have one oops language in your bucket in which you are proficient, right? And then you learn that language, you gain expertise in that language, and then you are good to go. Number two is skill up yourself in DSA, right? Because if you are someone who is very good in programming, but you do not know how to, you do not know the basic concepts of data structures and algorithms, it becomes very difficult for you to get into the big product based organizations. That is for sure, because these organizations do not give a damn about your, which programming language are you proficient in. They do not. They only want you to have hold on one of the oops language, and you should know the basic concepts of DSA. That is what they look for. So, number two, go for skilling yourself up in DSA, and you should be at least a 7 on 10 to go there. Number three, start creating a LinkedIn profile or a LinkedIn network, right? This is very important, because this is something which people fresh out of college lack majorly. At least I did, right? So you have to go ahead and create an account on LinkedIn, and you start, update all your information, like your degree, your school, your certifications, your profile, about everything, right? And then you go ahead and start joining some groups of your interest. For example, web development, here go ahead and search for those groups, join those groups, start liking the post, start finding people connecting to relating to that particular domain, right? And how to more personalize yourself, or how to more brand yourself on LinkedIn, is something I'll be creating a video separately, but for now start doing this. Number four is that you have a live project prepared. So whilst you are working in an organization, make sure that you have a live project with you, which is hosted on GitHub, And whenever you go for an interview 1 year later in a big organization, definitely when you show your live project and you know all the answers to the questions from that project, you'll get a great go ahead. So that is very important. So make sure that you work on these four things while you're working on the in that small scale startup. And for sure, once you work in that small scale startup for a year and you prepare yourself with these four weapons, you'll be definitely a step ahead than your peers into getting into a big product based organization, right? Now, the last thing for this video is that you might have this question in your mind that, okay, how do I find these startups, right? So I'll show it to you in action, but before that, let me tell you one important thing, which is, and a no to big service based firms. If you are someone who is planning to go into big product based organizations in future, I would say fresh out of college, do not join the big service based organizations, because therein there are a lot of processes, and your work potential reduces drastically. So go for a small scale product based or a service based firm. That is your call, or that is your luck, which company you get. But go for a small scale organization all in all, because therein you have to work in different capacities and you get to learn a lot, right? So let me go ahead and let me help you on how to find these startups, which will be very helpful for your learning process, right? So I'll go to Google, and let's imagine the scenario that I am looking for web development roles in Jaipur. I'll go ahead, I'll click enter, and I find these companies here. And if you, and I'm assuming this particular city is your hometown, so if you find these organizations, you might have had some idea, if it's your hometown, that these organizations are mid scale or small scale organizations which are growing right now, right? So you go ahead, search for their websites, and go ahead and uh, you know apply in the career portals of that, right? So for example, I found one organization which is in the video, right, which is on the screen right now. So you go to this website, you click on the careers page, and you go ahead and apply, for example, for a senior .NET developer. So that is the best thing, or the best way with which you can go ahead and find the relevant opportunities in small scale startups, which will help you learn a lot, that is for sure. And in turn, you will be able to go into big organizations with the lapse of time. So I hope that this particular quick video was helpful to you, and you have a strategy in your hand now on how to go for a big organization or a big product based organization in the future with the correct step by step path. So do share it with your peers, do share it with your friends, and do share your feedback for improvements. And we promise to abide by them. And stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much for watching.